Hi everyone, today's video will be quite short because I just want to share with you a homemade staple that I'm actually going to use in a future video. The recipe is for chickpea breadcrumbs, sometimes also called chickpea crumbs. You can use them in place of regular breadcrumbs to add flavor, protein, and fiber while keeping the same breadcrumb texture. The only ingredient in this recipe are chickpeas. I'm starting with the dried chickpeas, which I'm going to soak in cold water for about 24 hours, just like I would for falafel. Now, you can use canned chickpeas, but I find that the dried chickpeas have a more subtle flavor. Rinse the soaked chickpeas under cold running water and add them to a food processor. If you're using canned chickpeas as opposed to dried chickpeas, be careful not to puree them. You don't want to end up with hummus. Transfer the pulsed chickpeas onto a baking sheet or a pan and spread them as evenly as possible. Ideally, the chickpeas would be in a single layer so they dry out nicely in the oven. Roast the chickpeas at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until dry to the touch. Depending on your chickpeas, if they are just soaked or soaked and cooked or canned, it might take anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. At this point, the chickpeas will be sort of clumped up, so add them back into the food processor and pulse them once again. If you like seasoned breadcrumbs, add a little bit of salt and seasonings into the food processor as well. The texture of the breadcrumbs will depend on what you want to use them for. If the purpose is coating or binding, do a finer pulse. If you're using them to top pasta, you can do a coarser pulse. If you find that the chickpeas are not completely dry at this point, add them back onto the baking sheet and roast them for a few more minutes. When they are ready, transfer the chickpea crumbs into an airtight container or a jar, and that's it. One ingredient chickpea crumbs that are a great grain-free alternative to regular breadcrumbs.